Hi and welcome back to ArxangelRC. Today I have a quick update on the E50 Wi-Fi Elfie foldable copter that I recently bought. Some of you may remember that my main complaint was that the camera's field of view was way too narrow, so in order to widen that, I attached a smartphone wide-angle lens to the front of the camera. These lenses are available pretty much everywhere nowadays and are relatively cheap, and they do come in sets of a few with different fields of view. I used this one because I already had it, but sadly I couldn't use the wider one because it is defective and really messes up the image. Something was wrong with it from the beginning. I used some very strong bison reinforced double-sided tape to mount the lens, and I have to say the tape has survived a few crashes without coming off, so it is well worth what I paid for it. So as you can see here, on the right is the image before the lens, and on the left you can see it with the lens. So the lens definitely widened the camera's field of view and made flying a bit easier when looking at the screen and not the copter. One can also add an even wider angle lens for even better results. Along with the lens, I also got a new battery for the E50, the Tattu 1S 600 mAh 30C cell. It comes with a compatible connector. It has more capacity and a higher C rating than the stock battery, but it is actually 0.5 grams lighter. How about that? And I have to say the battery is really worth the money because it performs much better than the stock one. The copter noticeably has more power throughout the flight, and towards the end of the flight it does not feel soft and clumsy, but rather stays nimble and limber. I did do some outdoor tests to see how the two batteries will compare, and the results were quite clear that the Tattu was the better battery. The flight with that one lasted over 7 minutes, which actually almost brings the flight time to the manufacturer's specified 8 minutes, but still nowhere near the max claimed flight time of 15 minutes, though I doubt that is much of a surprise for anyone. And don't freak out about that little accident that you just saw. I was merely testing the flip option and wasn't high enough to allow the drone to recover after the flip. So I reset it and took off again. This time not messing around with that function. Once you get used to how this handles and controls, it is not bad at all. Only issue is framing it right for a photo, and if there is a light breeze even, this can be a tedious task. Also, I've noticed that the photo doesn't get taken every time you press that button. If there is a momentary dropout of the video signal, you will either not have a photo at all or will have a corrupt one with artifacts on it, because not the whole information made it through. So make sure you press that button a few times when you want to take a photo. For the second flight, I put in the stock battery, and for some reason the flight was actually shorter than I expected. Right from the start the copter felt clumsy and slow, and as if it was lacking power. It would not hold yaw direction very well, and every time I used the rudder it would dip a little, and only about 2 minutes into the flight the copter landed itself due to apparently lack of power, which was weird because when I connected the battery to the charger it was showing 3.9 volts, so theoretically it was not depleted, not by a long shot. I thought the problem may be the cold, so after a few more very short attempts to fly it with this battery, I gave up and went home, where I charged it up again and tried flying indoors where the temperature was much more LiPo friendly. Sadly, that yielded a mere 1 minute increase in the flight time compared to the outside, but when I connect the battery to the charger, 3.9 volts again. My guess is either there is an issue with my particular battery and it can no longer maintain the voltage under load, or a few cycles is all this battery needs to go bust. In any case, I think that the Tattu battery is the much better choice. So if any of you are looking for additional batteries for this drone, or possibly to upgrade it, the Tattu is the better way to go. So this about wraps up the E50 update. If you found this video useful, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, you could subscribe to my channel if you think it's worth your time. I am Nicola, and I will see you later.